Known, Be Seen Web TV. And in this particular session, it's my absolute delight to welcome Fatima Sumar. Hi, Fatima.
Hi, Trish. Thank you very much for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here.
Absolutely delighted to have you. And we're going to look forward to having a conversation with Fatima very shortly. Get Known, Be Seen Web TV, as those who've been following us, is all about bringing to you people who are eager to get known, be seen. They have a book, a product or service that they're wanting to shout out to the world. And then we also bring to you experts who show you how to get known, be seen, and how to be able to put your product, your service, your book out there. So let's find out a little bit more about Fatima.
Sure.
Fatima is a philanthropic entrepreneur. I love that, philanthropic entrepreneur. I had to practice that a bit, Fatima. Who's passionate about helping people live their healthiest versions of themselves and help them find their voice on social media. She's very creative, intuitive, curious, loyal, spiritual, adventurous, resilient, empathetic, and caring. Take a deep breath, people, because that's a lot in one big, awesome bundle of people. She was born to be a leader and is always the first one to step forward and help others. Fatima never turns away from a challenge and gracefully transforms every time with a smile. There is nothing Fatima cannot do. Listen to this, people. She started 4. Let me repeat that. 4 businesses. There's been wedding planning, designing jewelry, social media consulting, and health and wellness. And we're going to talk about 3 of those as we go along. Fatima has also published a book on her poetry and thrives when she's inspiring others through her passion for public speaking, which of course is one of the things that you all know, very close to my own heart. On the personal side, when she's not being all of that, she finds time to be a dancer, loves the water and all water activities, loves to explore her city, and we'll ask a bit more about that, enjoys traveling, is a foodie, loves to learn, meditates regularly, and loves taking pictures. I don't think Fatima's got much else left. She fills every part of her life. Health and beauty are always top of mind. Wow, Fatima, you are one person who just doesn't leave any stone unturned.
Nope. And you probably forgot to mention that I teach as well. I've been volunteering for a very long time, 28 years teaching. And that's something I'm very, very passionate about.
Wow. In front, all of that. Okay, so let's start a little bit with, 4 businesses. How did you end up doing all those?
So for me, it's always been, as a 5-year-old, I knew that I wanted to be a successful business owner. And it also runs in our family to have businesses. So my dad had his own business. My grandma had her own business. My grandma's brothers and so forth. And so it's just in I guess hereditary. It's in my blood, in my DNA. And then the wedding consulting, I had that for about 12 years. Then I had a hip injury, which I couldn't walk for 2 years. So that was very tough to continue, but I still own it. And if there are clients that I had worked with before, I'll do, event here and there for them, but it's not something that I focus on anymore. And then the jewelry, basically it came out of, it was a way for me to heal through my hip injury. And so with that one, it's custom to order. So basically, if there's an order, then only will I actually spend time on it. And then the social media, when I finally recovered, I then went back to school, did my marketing, and I got my social media completion. And that's when I decided, you know what, I still get to keep my creativity. I still get to work with others because, as you know, I'm very creative, and that's what I loved about the wedding industry as well as the jewelry. But the jewelry, really, if it's custom to order, then it's tough to keep it running. And so I just decided, well, hey, I like this, I'm enjoying it, and I ran with it. I turned it into a business and loved it. And out of that, in Vancouver, they say that you need to have at least 7 streams of income because of the cost of living here. And so health and wellness has always been top priority. And when, our house burned down on fire, there was no income because I was working. Everything was from home. And so the jewelry business stopped because everything was in my room. So that was all gone. So I had to restart. Then, when I tore my hip flexor ligament, there was no income coming in. And then we had another major thing. And that's when I realized that I do need to have another source of income, a supplemental income, that no matter what happens in the world, there's still income coming in. And so that's where my health and wellness business comes in.
Awesome.
And I love it. I've been doing it for 3.5 years. I could not be more grateful for it.
Brilliant. We'll come back to that in a second. I wanted to also touch on, you have been volunteer teaching for all those years. How did you get into that as well, handling everything else that's been going on in your life?
Well, so volunteering, it's in my DNA. I've actually been volunteering since I was the age of 5. And that's a very fundamental pillar of ours in our community. So by the age of 12, I had already founded the Young Volunteers program. And what that was is basically our younger volunteers, so age 5 to 12, they would then get shadowed and mentored by our mature volunteers. And then, so it basically started off in my community, and then it went to Vancouver. So it started off in Richmond, then it went to Vancouver, then it went national, so across Canada, and now this program is international. And so now you ask how I got into teaching. So because service has been a fundamental pillar of mine since I was 5, so every Saturday we have Saturday school. And just like we have a curriculum and everything from grade preschool all the way to grade 12. And by grade 7, I was getting really, really bored because I come from a family that's very conservative, but yet very, very influential, and they're very well versed in our faith. So for me, I was very bored. And so instead of continuing on, then by grade 8, I decided, okay, I'm going to teach because now I've covered everything that I can. I'm going to learn by actually teaching. And so that's how I got into it. And I've never left since.
Awesome. Awesome. And actually, I love what you said, learn by teaching. I think that's something that we don't realize a lot, that often when you are teaching, and for you, it's if your children there and that, but what about mentoring? And when you're mentoring and coaching, you're teaching, and you do learn a lot just by doing that. I think that's one of the things I love about what I do, because that the side byproduct of helping others is you're also growing yourself.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you're passionate at the moment with the health and wellness. Do you want to talk a little bit about what that is, how that's been developed, and how you are pushing that along?
Sure. So with the health and wellness business, so right now it has actually, increased many, many folds because everyone is so cautious about their health, their immune system. But basically it came out for a need of mine. I wasn't able to, I had a minor procedure and I ended up with an infection. And from that infection, I had to take antibiotics. And with that antibiotics, I actually ended up not being able to process water. My body just completely rejected water, did not want the water, and I love water. I absolutely love water. I drink 4 liters a day. So you can imagine what I was going through, not drinking any water or anything. And then I ended up with a small salivary gland stone here. It was like a golf ball out to here. I had pain protruding up, pain protruding down, everywhere. It was just uncomfortable. So I had asked a friend of mine, what am I supposed to do naturally? So she, got me on whatever, and she got me on the probiotics and Fiber G because that would help me clean out my gut. And so I said, okay, fine. If it is going to work as a product, if the product's going to work, I will look at it as a business. Because at this point, I had already had the fire, the hip injury, and whatever else. I was already looking for something to add on. And so I said, okay, well, I'm going to give it a month. If I see butterflies, then let's talk business. And I picked butterflies because it was like the worst winter that we had had. It was snowing right up until March. So there was not going to be butterflies, that was like going to be my easy way out because I wasn't going to see any butterflies. Boy, was I wrong. Boy, I mean, there was butterflies everywhere. If I turned on the TV, if I, like in one of my saris, I looked down and there was a butterfly. In some of the dishes, like on the design, there were butterflies. I walked into the dollar store. There were all these butterflies. I'm like, okay, I hear you. I got it. I'm doing this business. I'm here to make a difference. And the best part is, like you said, I get to learn so much about the body. And the funny thing is, I used to hate science. Like, I absolutely hated science. And now I'm actually enjoying it, and I get to learn and help others improve their life, their quality of life.
Awesome. And so what do you actually produce with the health and wellness?
So I don't produce any of the products. So I've actually partnered up with a company. It's called Usana Health Sciences. And so this company is actually in 24 different countries. So they take care of all of the marketing, but we then put our own spin on whatever marketing we do towards our own customer base or network. They do all the research, they do the development, everything. It's a science-based, fully science-based company, which I absolutely love. So the founder is an MD. He's got a PhD in microbiology and immunology, and amongst other accolades. And there's over 4,500 world athletes that use this product. So you know that it's very trusted, it's clean, it's tested, third-party tested, potency guaranteed, pharmaceutical grade. So for me, I've always been very, very, very particular about my body. I've never really taken pharmaceutical drugs just because, well, I did when I had my hip injury because it was so bad. I mean, if I couldn't walk, you can imagine the pain I was going through. So, I mean, even before that, I was even if I get a headache, I would very seldomly take anything. But when I had this, I had to take very strong painkillers. And I noticed that my personality was just changing. So I think I might have taken a year when I was actually recovering from teaching, because I noticed that, like even if a pin drop fell, I would get really upset, and that wasn't me. And to be around kids, that wasn't a good thing. So I think that was the only time that I'd taken a year off to just heal, and then I decided never again am I gonna, take these drugs. Even if it kills me, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
And so having come into this business, I was very particular about the science, what it is doing, the purity, and because it is a publicly traded company, everything is all up and up. So the company's 4 core values, which match my values, is excellence, integrity, community, and health. So excellence meaning, they're only going to put the top of the top ingredients, but also it's research. They're not just taking a fad and going to go with the fad.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity, everything's being checked, triple checked, quadruple checked, checked again. And not only that, but if there's something that they find there's an ingredient or something that just doesn't work with the body, they will pull it right away without any questions, not saying, and they will just completely destroy it, even those labels, everything, so no one can get their hands on it. So that to me was just amazing. And it is basically, like you mentioned earlier in my bio, that beauty and health are my top priorities, and that's what it is. So there's one line, which is the multivitamins, which is essential to our being. Then there's also the skincare from the beauty from the inside. You work on your gut, you clean out your gut, your skin radiates. And then there's also the weight management program.
Awesome. And obviously you used it to help you and had a success with it.
I have.
Butterflies.
Yes. And now my butterflies are just, that's my sign for everything.
Okay, awesome. So to do something like this, you need to be able to reach people who are going to need your product. So what was your biggest challenge in getting out there, what I call stepping up and being seen?
I think the biggest challenge was people automatically just saying no without giving you that opportunity to tell, to educate them as to what's actually happening. Because a lot of times we are programmed to, okay, let's go to the grocery store, let's just pick up, the Jameson, because that's been plastered all over TV, right? But people just don't have the time to be educated as to what they're actually doing to their body, how much harm they're doing to their body. And that's the founder's vision and quote or dream is, I dream of a world free of pain and suffering.
Awesome.
And so for me, that is huge. And I get very, very passionate about it, and people sometimes think of it as, being too pushy. But really, the reason why I'm, so excited or so interested is because I care about your health. It's not because I get money. It's because I care what you're doing, how long you can live.
Mm-hmm.
Is the quality of your life improved?
Awesome. So how do you reach those people?
How do I reach them?
You're very passionate and your passion shines through, but what do you do to be able to convey that passion to reach people? Make it easy for them to find you. Because one of the things that I talk about, we can be doing, there's a lot of that, and there's probably quite a few people who do what you're doing and who are also using and have that products as well. So how does Fatima stand out? How does Fatima find those people that need to work with her?
So there's two sort of playing fields that I work on. So there's the social media as well as face-to-face conversations. And the face-to-face also comes with a lot of training sessions. So I will host training sessions, I will host events. And then on the digital arena, I run different ads, and they're very specific to my target and to my niche. Of course, I will have posts on all of my platforms. I have, as you were a guest on our show, the Healthy Wave Vibes, that is an extension of what we do. So that's a platform where we're educating people and not really bringing in the products, but we're educating as we're getting educated on different topics. So that's another way we're attracting people into our business. And then, of course, just have fun with our teams.
Awesome. Awesome. I'm just going to ask you the social media part of it, because you do social media consulting. So which part are you finding that works for you and for getting your clients to find you? Which part of it is it working for you best? What are you finding the results from?
Well, I'm getting results from like the advertising, the niche advertising. I'm also getting results from my Facebook post. So when I'm doing my Facebook post, it's my lifestyle. It's creating a lifestyle as opposed to, this is my product, these are my multivitamins, or this is a skincare, buy them. Right? It's more of an educational piece. So I've been going hiking lately and I've been enjoying it. So I will take my multivitamin pack and I will show it in Mother Nature. And then I will create a little story behind it. Or, I've done, like a video series of me putting on my skincare and talking about each one of the items. Right? And I do a before and I do an after so they can see what is. These are just some of my social media, things that I do.
Brilliant. So what you're actually doing then is not so much selling, although you are. I mean, we all sell. I often come across with people who say, I don't like to sell. And I say, you're selling all the time. If you've got a product or service, but you are selling all the time yourself, what you're doing. So what you're doing is building up a relationship, the like, knowing, trusting.
Correct.
By sharing stories and what's in it for them, how it's working for the problems that you solve.
Correct. And just to come back to your point that we are all selling, well, even if you don't have a product or service, or, you know, you're still selling. And a lot of people don't realize it, but we are still selling in the sense that, well, you go out with your friends, or, you know, you go out with your significant other. You got to sell either the restaurant or that movie or that event that you want to do. When you're dating, you got to sell yourself. So really everything is a sales piece. And that's what a lot of times people forget. That we
might just clarify that we're not actually selling ourselves as self on the date. We're selling how brilliantly awesome we are for someone wanting to be with us. Let's put it that way.
Exactly.
I think I might put it that way. And I think that's true. It's one of the things that I believe that the young people we have today don't actually get. They think they come out of high school, they come out of school, college, and wanting to go into jobs, and quite often have the unrealistic belief that they're going to be the CEO of a company, which if they start one, they may, but mostly they're not going to. And they don't realize that when they go into interviews that they're selling their expertise, they're selling they're selling what they can bring to the company and why people should hire them. And that's something I don't think they realize.
No.
Now, if we're talking about that sort of, and we're talking about selling our products, selling ourselves, what are the two things that you think that people should be looking at in promoting what they're doing, in promoting their expertise?
Well, first of all, be very passionate about what it is that you're selling. Whether it is multivitamins, skincare, or if it's a book, whatever it is that you are selling, be passionate about it, but find a way to find a solution, or let people know that you have a solution before they even think that they have a problem. Show them that solution. And also the one thing I always tell my clients is do not get into all the platforms at once. Pick your market. You want to pick your ideal market. So, you know, if I'm targeting a 13-year-old, I'm not going to be hanging out on LinkedIn. I'm not going to be hanging out on Facebook. I'm going to be hanging out on Instagram, and I'm definitely going to be hanging out on Snapchat. Right? So know your audience and be in the right place, the right groups, the right platforms. And also, you want to build that relationship. Building that relationship is key, as Trish mentioned earlier. You're building that, the trust value, you're building that likability as well, that factor. So those are important things that you do want to make sure that you do look at. And then include videos. So you want to have not just pictures, you want to have videos, you want to have text. Mix up your medium and your messaging. And make sure your messaging is very clear, concise, and persistent.
Brilliant. People watching, you need to stop now, rewind, go back and listen, because that was a whole lot of very good gold nugget tips in there. You need to listen and think about where are you using those in what you're doing, because each of those things is a tip that could change your business, could change how you reach out to people, could change how you get known, be seen. Just a little bit about videos. Why do you think they're so good at being able to reach out to people?
Well, videos, they capture your emotions. You're able to connect, especially now because we're not able to go to large events, but videos allows us to reach a larger audience and still be connected. Video gives it personality. Video, actually the platforms like video because of the algorithm. Videos are easily shared because there's that information that you're learning from the videos. Pictures, they're great. I mean, I love taking pictures, as you know, but they don't give you that pizzazz. They don't give you that aha. Like there's not that nugget in it. So the videos will give you the nuggets.
Absolutely.
And it helps you overcome your fears. I'm sure you can attest to that one.
Oh yes, we might get onto the public speaking in a second, because that's sort of one of the things that helps. The reason I think for myself, people who follow me know that I'm really passionate about videos as well. I think it's because from my perspective, videos actually encompass all of the ways that you can connect with someone. Because people all have different ways of learning, they have different ways of taking on board information. And videos really gives you that, the visual, the actual words as well, the kinetic stuff that pulls you because it's moving all the time. So I think like that. What would be one of your biggest challenges in getting up there and being seen?
To me, I've never really, people like fear public speaking. Mm-hmm. Like I run for it. I love public speaking. Like at the age of and I'm so grateful to have been part of my community, because from a young age, not only is service, like a fundamental pillar, but we at a young age are trained to go up on stage and recite our prayers. So for me, you tell me to, go up on stage, perfect. Just give me the topic and I'm happy to talk. And so I often tell people, the more you get up there, the more fun you're going to have. And the more easier it gets. The easier it gets, the funner it gets, and the more you get to inspire people.
Absolutely endorse that. You can't learn, you can't do it without actually doing it. And the more you do it, it takes away that fear of the unknown, that fear not knowing what to expect. And for being able to have that chance to do that at an early age helps to really give you an edge on that. So let's have a look at the businesses that you've started. What people often want to start a business, and a lot of people have a lot of trouble just starting one business, let alone looking at, well, the diversity of what you've been looking at, which is really good. What will be the, say, one or two challenges you've had when you've been looking and thinking, I want to do that? What challenges could you share and how you overcame them so people can have a think about it?
So one of the challenges is to this day, I still don't like writing business plans. I really don't like writing business plans, but I did take courses, and there are ways that you can do like a one-pager business plan where it's got the highlighted information. And if you've got your goal, your vision, a clear vision of it, you're going to get there. Even if you have the bumps and valleys, you're going to get there, as long as you stand true to your goal and your vision. But yes, it will change over time. You will, evolve it. The one thing that I had to learn was, because of my hip injury, I had lost all my income. Because I wasn't working, I wasn't, there was no income or anything of that sort. I actually had to teach myself everything. I had to teach myself how to create a website. I had to teach myself, you name it. So when I went to school, like way back when, I actually got a degree in accounting and finance. So that I'm grateful that I didn't have to teach myself, because man, that would be a tough one to teach yourself. But literally, I had to teach myself all these different skills. I was attending as many webinars as I could. I did a lot of the free freebies and got whatever nuggets I could from there and utilized those. And then, of course, when I went to school, I learned more, and then I just kept learning and enhancing the skill. Even though I wasn't physically going to school, I kept just learning and playing around with it. So then that way I have those skills to transfer over. The one thing I would say is, you're not alone. There's people around you that have gone through it, and it may seem like you're alone and no one understands you, but to be honest, there's a lot of people that understand you, that, and that's when you start looking for mentorship. That's when you look for other ways to outsource. So then that way you can free yourself to do exactly what it is that you love. And you want to surround yourself around with people who are like-minded, who understand that. And because you're actually going to a mastermind or whatever it is, you may have a conversation and you may be, hitting your head against the brick wall because you're so stuck and not being able to see a solution. But by having a conversation, someone may point out something that will change your life.
I think that's really valuable, what you've just said.
Yeah.
It is. It's finding those like-minded people, the mentoring, the people that can support you, that you can bounce ideas off, because quite a lot of businesses, and looking at the ones that there's sole entrepreneurs, basically. Mostly those, you're starting out, and hopefully as your business goes, you may add and become a team, might add more staff, but it's you at the beginning, and that can be pretty daunting. Yeah. Pretty daunting.
It is daunting, but never give up and never lose sight of your dreams, because it's you that can make it happen, nobody else. And so just remember that and just keep at it. Keep going and find those people who are going to motivate you.
Absolutely. We could talk for hours on this. We haven't even got to the public speaking, so you come back later for that.
Sure thing. Love to.
What I want to ask is, who is the person maybe, or is it person who, or persons who have influenced you the most in what you've been doing?
I mean, of course, my family has had several businesses, but I think I would have to say my cousin. He has been a mentor. I mean, he's always been there for me, but at the same time, he's also been that older cousin that basically is the bully. But I still look up to him. He's got so many nuggets. He himself has had a lot of businesses himself, like very, very successful businesses. And he's always giving, he's always inspiring. And so I think he has definitely shaped.
Awesome. And it's people, when I ask that question, say, they think of some celebrity or something, but it's not. It's the people who are around you quite often who are the most influence in what you do. And it's really good to think about, because they're the ones that influence you without you even realizing it, until you look back and you think the relationship you've had, or the conversations you've had, or the couple of words that someone has said to you has been what's you've really needed at that time, and is what's been able to propel you forward to where you want to be. So it's really the people around us that often are our biggest influence. Now, you've got something that people can contact you, a lovely little ebook. Do you want to talk a little bit about that you're giving away?
Yes. So it's called A Healthy Home, A Healthy You. It is an ebook, and basically it talks about how you can change your bedroom, your home, and make it healthier with very simple tips and tricks. So for example, I'm not going to give you all of the tips because then there's no point, but like our cell phones, our electronic gadgets, keep those out of your room. One, you're going to get better sleep. Two, there's no EMFs that are flying around. And another one, with your laundry, instead, don't use dryer sheets, because those are really, really not good for your body, your immune system. But they also wreak havoc on the environment as well. They can also cause fires, so that's something that you want to look at. You want to not be using as much. So if you just reduce the amount of things that you use on your body by 10% that are so if you switch from scented to unscented, you'll have reduced your chemical intake by 20%. And that chemical intake is affecting your body. We don't realize it, but there's a lot of chemicals in our own homes, whether it's cleaning agents whether it is the stiff, stifling air that, you know, we should be opening our windows to make sure that we are getting fresh air. And even the clothes that we wear, they can be flammable. If you want to find out more, check out the book.
Awesome. That sounds like a really great book to get. Now, how can we get it?
So if you actually go to the Healthy Way Vibes website, healthywayvibes.com, you will see it on there. It is on our tab. It's A Healthy Home, A Healthy You. And I can also send Trish the link, so then that way you have it as well.
Yep, I've got the link. And I'll put it down below from here, so you'll be able to click on the link. And sounds like there's some absolutely awesome information in there that could change your life. Because chemicals, hey, today we can't get away from them unless we do something about getting away from them, because they are all ever present nearly in everything we do.
Yes.
Realize it. We don't absolutely realize it. So how can people contact you?
So you can email me at fsumar786@gmail.com. You can also go to my health and wellness website. It is fatimas.usana.com/share. Again, I will share all this with Trish so that, you know, you can reach her on Facebook. I'm Fatima Sumar, and on Instagram, I mean, I've got all of my business ones. It's just going to be a whole laundry list of things. So I'm just giving you my personal arenas, and then that way you can go and follow me on whatever other platforms, because that's the easiest way. At LinkedIn, Fatima Sumar. Instagram, it's Soulful Pleasures. And Pinterest, I still have my old business one with the wedding consulting, which I don't really use, but it's Puino Hearts Planners.
All of that.
I think that's pretty much all of the handles.
You just find Fatima on one, and you're going to be able to follow the breadcrumbs to the other. Because once you connect to Fatima, she's going to tell you what you need. Whichever way you need to be working with her, you've got to connect first. So connect. And I think getting the ebook that she's giving away, that would be a great way to connect to start with, and then see where you want to take that connection with her, because it's all about that first step. Unless you take that first step, you're not going to know all the valuable things that Fatima can share with you and what she's doing. Thank you so much, Fatima, for being with us today. It's been awesome having a conversation with you, and I love the gold nuggets that you've shared. I mean, the things about what you need, the challenges with starting a business. You're speaking, you know, got someone here who has started 4 different businesses, very diverse businesses, but they've each been started for a reason. And Fatima shared with you some of the challenges of how she's done that, and the things that you can use to start your own business or to get out there and get known, be seen. People, you've been watching Get Known, Be Seen WebTV. I'm Trish Springsteen. I am a creative business consultant. I help you to get known, be seen. So I'm a visibility mentor. I help you to connect with your coaches, with your clients. So I'm a speaking coach. I'm Australia's leading expert in empowering introverts. But most specifically, my passion is here, sharing with you guests' information and knowledge on how you too can get up there, get known, be seen, and make it easy for your clients to find you. Now, if you want to make sure that you never miss an episode of this web TV, there is a brilliantly beautiful button just below this on my YouTube channel there, the Get Known, Be Seen web TV channel. Just press that. It says subscribe. It's very easy. You press that and you'll never miss out on an episode. So thank you for being here. We'll be back next time with another awesome guest, sharing their expertise, their knowledge, or showing you how they've managed to get up, be known, and be seen with what they're doing. Thanks so much, Fatima, for being with us.
Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.